Darius is back. The empires are at war, and Darius finds himself at the city of Roti of the Western Empire. Summer 1091, 7 years into service. The city of Roti had fallen. The celebration was short-lived. There was something sour about killing your own countrymen, but peace talks between the three empires had failed again and again, and every soldier knew, because for Darius and the Southern Empire, the coming months would be the bloodiest. The largest armies of the Southern and Western Empires met on an open field. They say 10,000 arrows were fired that day, and 10,000 arrows found flesh. After the skirmish phase, the South sends in their cavalry. It's devastating, but not enough. There's just too many arrows and they're forced to retreat. The West then follow up with their own cavalry charge. It has little effect on the tight-packed troops of the Southern Empire. The Western Empire is no match for the Southern cavalry units, which are 5 times larger. But despite how many cavalry they send, there was too many arrows, and every wave of cavalry is just deterred again from a rain of death. Both commanders on each side seem content on letting the quivers run empty. The Southern Empire run out first, and they have no choice but to stand ground and wait for the enemy to run out of arrows. Shields are worn down, cracked, splintered, as men and shields alike rotate to the front of the formation. Darius is also among them. Morale is extremely low, as the onslaught and the rain of death continues for what seems like eternity. But finally, almost as to end the suffering, the order for charge is given of the Western Empire, and they begin to advance on the Southern forces, and the Southern forces prepare for an attack. What's left of the cavalry begin to react. A devastating order was given as the cavalry are told to charge into the infantry melee. At a great cost to both sides, the cavalry achieved the victory that is needed. The Western Empire's routing and the cavalry chased them into the night. Every disposable cavalryman is sent after the Western forces. They harass them all the way until they make a stand finally, but the cavalry smash into their unorganized lines. With the Western Empire's army in disarray, the Southern Empire catches up with the main army, and it is a slaughter. The Western Empire manages to rally together for one final attack. Their efforts are futile. However, their courage will be remembered by every member of the Southern Army. Summer 1092, 8 years into service. This is when Darius met another man, Zuvan Bloodaxe. Darius introduced himself. Zuvan was a veteran warrior of the Vigear Guard from times past. Him and his old warband settled in the city of Lycaon. He was there when the city rebelled against the Southern Empire. He said he felt great shame as his once comrades rose up and took the opportunity to loot and pillage innocent civilians. He spoke of how he wouldn't join his old warband's crimes, nor would he stand against them. Darius took warmly to Zuvan's good nature, and with nothing to lose, Zuvan decided to join Darius in the Imperial Southern Army. It was good timing too. With the Western Empire licking its wounds, the Southern Empire turned back to the Khazaits and the city of Akalat, and Darius needed friends who could watch his back. Unlike before, the Khazaits were ready. But the Southern Empire came in full force. The Imperial legionaries marched towards Akalat. The Khazait warriors would be no match for the Imperial infantry. With constant bombardment and the ram and siege tower approaching, it was only a matter of time before Akalat fell. Zuvan was in the assault, and he was eager to be one of the first up the siege tower. Maybe he had something to prove. Although victory was assured, it was reckless of Zuvan to push his way to the front. Yorig and Darius were not far behind, but they knew most of the hard fighting would be done by the time they got up the walls. The Imperials were crawling all over the walls, and with most of the defences destroyed, the Imperial archers found their targets easily. And surely enough, the gate was down, and the infantry stormed in against the lightly armoured Khazait warriors. This is the second victory over the Khazait. Darius deep down had a bad feeling. They would not let this go unpunished. The Southern Empire assigned a governor. They eased up on taxes and brought in many trade goods, in hope they wouldn't rebel against their new occupiers. In a local tavern, Darius met up with Rhea the Wronged, an Imperial girl who had been living in Akalat. She didn't want to stick around in Akalat any longer, and she was friendly enough and she would join the army with Darius and his band. Peacetime. The Southern Empire was thriving. The Northern and Western Empires dare not attack, and both the Khazait and the Azurai borders are secure. Nearly every Imperial army had dispersed, and the soldiers were free to indulge in civilian life. Darius and his new friends would spend their wages on clothes, drink, gambling, but they encouraged each other to stay fit and would regularly take part in the many games hosted throughout the Southern Empire. It is in these games Darius met his fourth companion. Darbar Deadeye, they call him. Practically undefeated until Darius met him on the sands. He saw him in a local tavern later that day. Darius introduced himself and they shared a drink. Darbar told Darius his story and how he was impressed with the skill Darius showed. It wasn't long till they shared a few more drinks. A bit rough around the edges than his other companions, but he would join their small band, making it 5. Darius and his band went on to fight in many more tournaments. Some of them they lost, but most of them, one of them won. And it is in one of these tournaments Darius found himself paired with a lord known as Pharos. Together, Darius and Pharos nearly won the tournament. ultimately losing against Dabar Deadeye himself. Pharos was impressed with Darius' little band, and he summoned Darius to the Imperial keep. This is well above Darius' standing. Some of his comrades even told him not to go, but ultimately he couldn't refuse the request of a lord. Uriel came with him to the keep, but Darius had to climb the steps alone. Surely enough, he reached the top of the stairs and was allowed access into the Imperial keep. There, he saw Pharos. Darius didn't know what to make of the man, but he had a sly grin. He was not a lord known for his kindness, and he had won many battles. A hard man, a hard lord, you could say. And he wanted Darius and his little band to do something off the record. Thank you so much for watching. What will happen next time in Darius' 25 years of service to the Southern Empire? What will Pharos have in store? And how will Darius and his new little band fare in the wars to come? Glory to the Empire.